Chapter 19. Kurt Olson at the Comet Inn. The 10 a.m. meeting went perfect for Kurt Olson. He met the wizard there, and the two walked off together before the AA meeting got started. It could have been any 30-something sponsor chatting up his duckling. Very inconspicuous. The wizard, a slight, myopic, and asthmatic 22-year-old, had already succeeded in planting graphic kiddie porn on the hard drives of every single target. This kid was sharp. His methods had fooled a lot of people who might think themselves computer savvy. Beautiful. The 12 p.m. meeting was not so smooth. The Dragon Master was doing the Hamlet thing, unsure if he was to be or not to be a part of the program. Kurt Olson decided to cut the soliloquy short and to put Hamlet's ass in a sling of outrageous fortune. Kurt Olson promised that he would not hurt him, and the Dragon Master reluctantly climbed into the Nugo. In a short time he would break his promise. He forced the Dragon Master to duck down on the seat while he secured a room at the Comet Inn. Kurt Olson had slipped on a Washington Redskins cap and a pair of oversized sunglasses before entering the lobby. There he slipped cash into a compartment, and the clerk behind the bulletproof glass removed the cash and dropped a key into the compartment. Holding the magnetic strip in his hand, Kurt Olson felt the spring return to his step. What the Comet Inn lacked in atmosphere, sanitation, light bulbs, and reliable plumbing, it more than compensated for with soundproof walls. Thick concrete that sweated in the summer muffled the groan of many a client. It was the perfect place for Kurt Olson to practice his techniques of persuasion. Once the door was closed, Kurt Olson grabbed the Dragon Master and slammed him to the malodorous carpet. "Go ahead and scream, you big pussy. No one's going to hear you." Kurt Olson first placed his postulant in a wrestling hold known as the guillotine. Painful in its own right, the guillotine was also a versatile platform for inflicting torture holds. Kurt Olson had learned from a master. His older brother, Owen, had perfected his art on him when they were growing up. The first tactic Kurt Olson used was what his brother called "Who's the Boss?" The bending of the wrist inward, just approaching the snap. "Who's the boss?" Kurt Olson inquired in a tone that approached baby talk. "You are," the Dragon Master yelled. "You are." Kurt Olson surveyed the pressure points on the Dragon Master's body. So much screaming and yelling, not so much as a bruise left behind. But Kurt Olson knew that he had a long way to go. Dragon Master still had not had his spirit broken. If he let him go now, the dipshit would rat him out as soon as he got home. There was work to do. In a quick, fluid motion, Kurt Olson had the Dragon Master's hands restrained behind his back in plastic cuffs. Flipping the turtle on his back, Kurt Olson proceeded to roll his t-shirt above his nipples. From his back pocket he removed the only tool he had brought along, a pair of Craftsman needle nose pliers. Kurt Olson straddled his pupil's torso and skillfully applied the needle nose to the right nipple. The screams took on a different clef, and Kurt Olson feared that he might discharge in his jeans. He was getting his point across. He would put this kid's pesky conscience to rest very shortly. This kid would soon do whatever Kurt Olson said. Then suddenly the Dragon Master raised his torso and he vomited repeatedly. Much of the grape shot struck Kurt Olson on his t-shirt and neck. Having a weak stomach for such things, Kurt Olson responded by expelling the Hardy's lunch he had wolfed down before their meeting. His exudation landed on the face and neck and hair of his companion. Kurt Olson tore off his t-shirt and tossed it onto the burn-stained bathroom linoleum. He then jumped into the shower with his jeans and boots on. Warm water would have felt nice, but the icy effluence was just as effective at removing the offending odor. Kurt Olson returned to find the Dragon Master sobbing face down in the carpet. He still had work to do. He removed a splotchy pillowcase from a discolored pillow and wrapped it around the young man's eyes. His catechumen sat up and blubbered anew, his mouth unprotected by the splotchy pillowcase. The vomit had killed Kurt Olson's erection, and his cold, wet jeans made a comeback impossible. But the absence of rigidity made voiding his bladder doable, and he sprayed his water in the Dragon Master's mouth. Despite the blindfold, the Dragon Master recognized the warm liquid for what it was, and his stomach found even more stuff to expel. Kurt Olson was able to avoid the liquid flak this time, stepping away without breaking the stream or easing the downpour on Dragon Master's face. His work was almost done. Kurt Olson grabbed Dragon Master's plastic cuffs and tugged hard. He dragged him to a dry and presumably cleaner area of the carpet. There he flipped his colleague on his back and lowered his pants and underpants to his knees. He let him rest for a minute or so and then rolled him over on his stomach. After another minute of gravid stillness, he got down on his knees and whispered into Dragon Master's ear, "Are you going to be a team player?" "Yes, oh yes." "I'll leave the tropical areas alone if you agree to be a team player." Yes, I want to be a team player." Kurt Olson smiled broadly before continuing. "I just want you on my team, that's all. And I just want to be on your team." There would be no hugging. Kurt Olson called his cohort a cab and then released him from his plastic cuffs. He grabbed his needle-nose pliers, the hotel key, and his car keys, and made a dash for the Nugo. He stopped in the doorway to give the Dragon Master a final message. "I will call you in 24 hours. I want to hear that everything is up to date." "No problem." Despite the chilly weather and the sopped clothing, Kurt Olson never felt warmer.